say anything.
Home at last. Tears of joy as Zainab arrives from Saudi Arabia.
Nigerians want development, and of course, this is what the government, I believe, is doing.
Kudos for the administration from one who has seen it all. General Gowon comes calling at the presidential villa.
Inauguration will take place 29th of May.
Low-key presidential inauguration for May 29th. Information Minister clarifies position on other ceremonies. And NSITF board inaugurated after controversies. Hello, I am Jummai Yusuf. Thanks for joining me on the news at 9, live from Abuja. Michael Olale is reading from Lagos, and we have Muhammad Ibrahim in Maiduguri. Thanks for joining us. We begin the news from Kano with the return of Zainab Habibu Aliyu, the young Nigerian lady wrongfully detained by Saudi authorities for alleged drug trafficking. Correspondents Abdullahi Mustafa and Fatima Sanusi Karai report on the emotional but joyful reunion with members of our family, relatives and friends.
This was the mood at the protocol lounge of the Malam Amini Kano International Airport when Zainab Habibu Aliyu, the released Nigerian detainee, arrived from Saudi Arabia. Zainab was erroneously detained by Saudi authorities for alleged drug trafficking. Her release was facilitated by the federal government after confirming that the exhibit found in her name was planted by a syndicate of drug traffickers. On arrival in Kano, Zainab was handed over to Airport Command of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA.
And as you are aware, the matter is in court, and we'll follow this case logically to ensure that the culprits are punished according to the law.
As official documentation by the NDLA officials ended, more family members, friends and well-wishers arrived at the airport to receive her.
There is nothing I can say, but I can't say anything. Just alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
Zainab Aliyu's loved ones have never thought this day will come, but their persistent efforts to prove her innocence made them to be elated at this moment.
Alhamdulillah, I thank Nigerians, I thank President Muhammad Buhari, in whose, through his own wisdom and directive, that my daughter has been released and I'm with her now in Nigeria.
I feel happy and I say all my praise to Allah. Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah. Today we are very happy that our little innocent Zainab has arrived to Kano at last.
Arriving alongside Zainab was another innocent Nigerian wrongly detained over similar allegation. Abubakar Ibrahim has also been in detention since December 2018 before his eventual release 2 weeks ago.
Allah saka masa alheri. Mune kuma gaban kasa godiya. Allah kara mai lafiya. Baba Buhari. Saboda alhamdulillah.
This return to Nigeria of Abubakar Ibrahim and Zainab Aliyu has put to rest the concern of many Nigerians over their fate in the hands of Saudi authorities. Family, friends and well-wishers from the airport proceeded to the family house where my colleague Fatima Sanusi Karai was waiting.
Tears of joy running down their cheeks. Laughter and happiness in their hearts as their daughter and sister Zainab Habib, a level 4 student of Yusuf Meta Masale University, has every reason to be in this joyful mood for the simple fact that she was on death row in faraway Saudi Arabia for an offense she knows nothing about.
This one's dull and empty room is full of jubilation as Zainab, the owner of this room, is back home. She's so excited to be united with her friends and she can't wait to return to her normal life.
Thank you so much. I just say Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah, she is back now. We are so excited, and the excitement can't be described as well.
Express how happy I am after 5 months of detention.
I can't just explain how happy I am. Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillah, she's back home.
Zainab was full of gratitude to NTA and indeed Nigeria.
Thank you, Nigerians.
In Kano, Fatima Sanusi Garai, NTA News.
Quite an outpour of emotions there. Former Head of State General Yakubu Gowon says the Buhari administration is on track in meeting genuine national aspirations for sustainable development of the country. General Gowon was speaking to newsmen shortly after an audience with the Nigerian leader. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo reports that the president also granted audience separately to 4 governors from the various geopolitical zones of the country.
The former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, is the first former Nigerian leader to visit President Muhammadu Buhari in an individual capacity after his 2019 elections victory. The 2 leaders met behind closed doors for about 40 minutes, but neither the reason for the visit nor details of their discussions were made public. General Gowon, however, told newsmen that the Buhari presidency is on the right track.
Nigeria want peace, because without that peace, we wouldn't be able to sort of to get anywhere. And of course, Nigerians want development, and of course, this is what the government, I believe, is doing. Now, I did mine in those days, and I think the present government is doing also the best it could, ensuring agriculture, that we can be able to feed ourselves, and also to help other countries. These were some of the ideas that we had during our time, and I think they are making the necessary effort. Should we not say good luck to Mr. President?
President Muhammadu Buhari, who also received Governor Willie Obiano of Anambra State, was brought up to speed on his administration's various interventions in the southeastern state, especially the second Niger Bridge, as well as Oka-Onitsha Road projects, which he said are going according to plan.
Initially, people thought it was an election fluke, but you can see long after the election, those works are still going and going on very well. I also updated him on the social programs in Anambra, the homegrown school feeding program and the N-Power, and trader money and all the stuff. I briefed him fully that they are going according to plan. Because I know he's doing a great work, I told my people to know where we're headed, that this gentleman keeps his word, just like me, and he's doing a great work. So, and he's very honest, straightforward. His yes is yes, his no is no. So why can't I like such a fellow? As a governor and as Anambra State, we'll give him all the support to make sure he has a very successful second term in office.
Issues relating to security of lives and property dominated discussions during the separate meetings between the president and Governor Nasir El-Rufai of Kaduna State, as well as his Benue State counterpart, Samuel Otom.
I'm saying that no matter what anyone said last week, I am assuring Nigerians that the Abuja-Kaduna road is quite safe now and will be so long as the initiatives put in place by the various security agencies, details of which I am not willing to disclose, continue to be in place. People can be confident to drive on the Kaduna-Abuja road without any fear.
Despite the security reports that he received every day, I'm here to brief him about the effort so far, the effort the security men are doing with the government, working together to ensure that we restore security for lives and property. The challenge is that one notorious criminal called Ghana, who was trained by Boko Haram, is instrumental to the kidnappings that are happening between Benue and Taraba State. Now that I have the mandate of the people to track him down, working with the security agencies, I can assure you, just give me some little time, that will be done.
For Governor Akinwumi Ambode of Lagos State, his mission to the State House was to say thank you to the President for his recent official visit to the Center of Excellence.
And it's just very significant for me to come officially on behalf of all Lagosians to come and show appreciation and actually thank Mr. President personally for, finding time and deeming it fit to commission some of our projects that actually touch on the lives of Nigerians.
President Muhammadu Buhari was in Lagos State on the 24th of last month. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
President Muhammadu Buhari's inauguration for a second term in office, slated for May 29th, is to be on low-key. Minister of Information Lai Mohammed announced this while briefing State House correspondents, adding that the decision was taken at the meeting of the Federal Executive Council. Last Wednesday, he said a number of events that usually follows the presidential inaugurations will now be held during the first observance of the National Democracy Day on June 12th.
Inauguration will take place 29th of May. It will be low-key. Since the first observance of June 12 as Democracy Day falls into an election year, and as a measure to sustain June 12 as Democracy Day, the celebration of the inauguration and the advancement of democracy in the country will now take place on June 12. Invitations have been sent to all world leaders to attend the ceremonies marking the observance of the Democracy Day.
State House correspondent Adamu Sambo quotes the minister as saying that details of the events slated for both the presidential inauguration and Democracy Day celebrations will be unveiled at a World Press Conference on the 20th of this month. The Nigerian Social Insurance Trust Fund NSITF Management Board has been inaugurated by the Minister of Labour and Employment, Chris Ngige. Doing DR reports that while inaugurating the board at the banquet hall of the presidential villa, Dr. Chris Ngige charged the members to restore public confidence in their administrative duties.
12 members of the managing board taking the oath of office. Minister of Labour and Productivity, Dr. Chris Ngige, condemned financial misappropriations amounting to billions of naira by the former board, some of which he said are being investigated. The new board members, he noted, have gone through various screenings, including asset declaration, and a search are fit to deliver on the mandates, which amongst others includes workers' welfare and prompt payment of entitlements.
In this regard, you are particularly to be guided by circular number SGFOP/1/S3 T1/142 of 2nd August 1999 and the guidelines to administrative procedure in the Federal Public Service.
The new board chairman, Austin Enajemo Isire, a fellow of the Institute of Chartered Accountants of Nigeria, promised to key into the developmental agenda of the federal government for better living condition of the average worker in Nigeria.
We will do our best to change the narratives.
We are all genuine people who believe that everybody must be taken care of, in the space.
The important thing is the resolution of the conflict, and I think we've been able to achieve that.
The inauguration of this board put to rest the much controversy surrounding its delay, especially between the Labour Union and the Minister of Labour. From the State House Banquet Hall in Abuja, doing Dia NT News.
From the presidency to infrastructural development, Minister of Transportation Chibuike Rotimi Amechi has directed the Nigerian Railway Corporation to carry out a fast audit of properties to be affected by the construction of Apapa section of the Lagos-Ibadan rail project. The minister gave the directive on an inspection tour and also noted that challenges on the Lagos corridor is delaying the speedy completion of work, unlike the Ibadan axis. Oyinaya Kalu Oka has details.
No, I know now. We are here, sir.
It was an interesting inspection that had a little bit of drama and intrigues, as the Minister of Transportation, Rotimi Amechi, had many stops to get first-hand information. At the Apapa corridor of the Lagos-Ibadan Rail project, some tenants who claimed to have paid the Nigerian Railway Corporation had receipts of 2015.
This rent is collected by Nigeria Railway Property.
No, they are to go. There's no argument about that. Who rented? Maybe it's on just are you a staff? No. Is your husband a staff?
How do you gain access to railway property without railway? And they say they pay them to railway property.
Where's your receipt?
This is 2015.
The minister directed that NRC should carry out quick audit of property in order to identify the status of ownership.
I've almost cleared those diseases, so we believe that by June, construction from Iju to Apapa will commence at a faster speed.
Because these interferences have the penchant for delaying the projects. But the Honourable Minister clearly understands all these challenges and is providing us with guidance.
Inspection was also carried out at the Ogun State section of the rail project, where mega stations are being constructed.
So we think it's like this all over Nigeria, and I think people will be happy.
Part of our effort to bring railway development issues to generate revenue.
The minister said due to some obstructions, work from Ebute-Metta to Apapa section of the project is not up to 10%, unlike the Ibadan section that is 70% completed. Oyinaya Kaloka, NTN News.
This is the news at 9 live on the network service of the NTA. We have more news ahead, but that will be after the break. Join us again.
There comes a time when the journey in life takes you far away from the familiar.
No signal. Fix it. Auntie, I don't finish. Wow. Make we take picture for Instagram. Don't you mean Instagram? Instagram, Hingram. Now you know name. Now me get network where they work for this long road. Come the yellow side, make yourself for fee enjoy overshot data.
Anywhere, anytime, data makes life better. Now you can get 1 gigabyte at 200 naira. The binge all day on Instagram just for you. Dial *406# to enjoy.
Your hugs are a comfy place for dropping in. Okay. For lazing around. And hanging out. So we've designed our hugs to be just as comfy, with a super absorbent cut to lock wetness away and a soft, flexible waistband, keeping baby comfy at every angle. We'll never stop finding new ways to hug more like you. Huggies, your hugs inspire ours.
As the number of people with the bond they reduce, now so the money with them they get to spend they increase. Enough proof don't they to show say countries where them families they bond, the number of people where they fit take care of, they stress to take care of the children, no they plenty at all for the family. If families fit they enjoy this kind of benefit of expenses we know they too much. You fit imagine how you go fit help boost country economy like Nigeria own. As leader where you be, the solution they your hand. And what you need to do now to take action now. All we lawmakers and everybody where they power and government must make sure say them put enough money down. We go make sure say childbirth spacing where plenty people sabi as family planning services full everywhere. Our pastors, imam, and traditional leaders suppose open mouth tell them people about the better thing where child spacing they do. This work, now our handy day. We get the full responsibility to do them. We must join hand and get it together. Make our future for bright. Now Federal Ministry of Health, they bring you this message.
Munch it, how to taste it, crunchy feeling. Munch it, how to munch it every day. Munch it, just give me that super snack. Munch it, oh irresistible. Munch it, makes me wanna say one munch, two munch, non-stop munch. Munch it is here, irresistible. One munch, two munch, non-stop munch.
Try a pack of Munch It snack at 50 naira.
The House Ad Hoc Committee on the Investigation of the Non-Remittance of Trillions of Naira Stamp Duties into the Federation account invites the following stakeholders and the public to an investigative hearing as follows. Date, 15th May 2019. Venue, Conference Room 034, House of Representatives, National Assembly Complex, Abuja. Time, 10 a.m. Stakeholders include the Central Bank of Nigeria, Nigeria Postal Service, Revenue Mobilization, Allocation and Fiscal Commission, Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, and all relevant agencies and the public. Honorable Abubakar Yunusa Ahmed, announcer.
I can taste the real chicken. Real chicken.
Don't worry, Abba. It's not your chicken.
It's the Sadap Supreme Chicken Essence that gives it the supreme chicken taste. Be Supreme, Nigeria.
Share a mantis, make a friend. Stick together till the end. Share a mantis, socialize. Share Mentos and be nice. Share Mentos candy, crunchy outside, chewy inside. Stick together till the end. Enjoy Mentos, have some fun. Who says no to Mentos? Activate your life, be who you want to be. Time to get active. Yes, the time is now.
Start an active life with the power of vegetables and fruits. Chivita Active. Be active. Do more.
The management of the Nigeria Television Authority (NTA), Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria (FRCN), and Voice of Nigeria cordially invites the general public to the 14th edition of the annual Ramadan lecture, which will inshallah hold on Saturday, 18th May 2019. The topic is Tolerance in Islam, to be delivered by Sheikh Muhammad Nuruddin Lemu, Director of Research and Training, Dawah Institute of Nigeria Islamic Education Trust, Mina, Niger State. The venue for the event is Lumana Multipurpose Hall, River Road, Jabi Road East, Ngorimi Jari, Kaduna by 9 a.m. Under the distinguished chairmanship of Lamido of Adamawa, His Royal Highness Muhammad Barkindo Aliyu Mustafa. The chief host is His Excellency Malam Nasr Ahmed El-Rufai, the Executive Governor of Kaduna State. Royal Father of the Day is His Royal Highness Alhaji Dr. Show Idris, CFA, Emir of Zazzau. The host Malam Yakubi Muhammad, Director General of Nigeria Television Authority, Malam Mansur Liman, Director General of Federal Radio Corporation of Nigeria, and Dr. Osita Okechukwu, Director General of Voice of Nigeria. Announcer Organizing Committee, you are welcome.
Thanks for staying. Minister of Interior Abdurrahman Dambazo says the federal government is currently implementing a decisive strategy that would guarantee the restoration of lasting peace in Zamfara and other states bedeviled by insecurity. The minister made the remark when he paid an assessment visit to Anka and Shinkafi local government areas of Zamfara state. Jamilu Ibrahim reports.
Anka and Shinkafi Emirates are among the areas worst hit by the spate of the prevailing security challenges in Zamfara state. Armed bandits recently attacked a number of communities in the areas, resulting to mass killings and kidnappings, as well as massive displacement of persons, mostly women and children. Minister of Interior Lieutenant General Abdurrahman Dambazo retired was in the areas to assess the situation and to reassure the communities of the federal government's renewed commitment towards finding a lasting solution to the problem. The minister, who visited palaces of the emirs of Anka and Shinkafi, expressed President Muhammadu Buhari's deep concern over what he described as multidimensional security challenges that have bedeviled the state, expressing optimism that with the new strategy being adopted by the federal government, the problem will soon be a thing of the past.
That government is out to deal with the situation accordingly. So we know what the problems are. We know what the challenges are. We've mapped out strategies, but we need to discuss with stakeholders so that everybody will come on board in order to find lasting solutions to
We feel more confident and we are now hopeful that something serious is going to happen.
A number of some other issues were raised by the royal fathers and the community leaders in the areas during the visit. which the minister said will be channeled to the relevant authorities for appropriate action. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
Still with security, a combined team of police operatives attached to Operation Puff Adder has arrested 9 kidnapped suspects and recovered 2 AK-47 rifles, 4 AK-47 magazines, 54 rounds of live ammunition, 5 Din guns and 200 stolen cows. The kidnapped suspects, all indigents of Musa local government of Kaduna State, were arrested at Kudaru Forest in Lere local government of Kaduna State following credible intelligence and support from the locals in the community. Other suspects were similarly arrested at Akilbu Forest around Kacha local government of Kaduna State and have made useful statement to the police on their involvement in a series of kidnap cases on the Abuja-Kaduna Expressway. The Acting Inspector General of Police, Muhammad Adamu, has commended the public for their cooperation and support. In continuation of investigations by the House of Representatives on alleged killings by security personnel during elections in Rivers State, the General Officer Commanding 6th Division and the State Police Commissioner today testified on the matter. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
The General Officer Commanding 6th Division of the Nigerian Army, Major General Jamil Sarham, says in all its operations, including Operation Safe Conduct, launched to provide security during the elections, the Army exercises utmost restraint in the face of provocations, adding that several fake soldiers and police were arrested and handed over to the police during the March 2019 governorship and state assembly elections in Rivers State.
We did exercise Python Dance 3 to usher in safe conduct. What was the aim? Is to mop up illegal arms, and we of course did it. We saw arms, we saw ammunition, we saw uniforms, which were all seized and handed over to the police.
In his testimony, the Commissioner of Police in Rivers State, Usman Al-Hassan, said the police conducted themselves professionally throughout the election.
Our roles are very much specified. Police being the lead agency in terms of policy in the electoral process, they're providing the support service that is required. In terms of deployments, police deploy to the pooling units, but the military is asked to deploy outside, not within the polling units.
4 committees of the House of Representatives were last week in Port Harcourt, Rivers State, to collect oral and documentary evidence on alleged killings by security personnel during the March governorship elections.
If there are persons that are found wanting, like the chairman has said, we can blame them. If there are punishments that the law has provided, they are punished in line with the law. Those who feel hurt will be pacified that they have received justice.
We need to submit our report by Tuesday, lay our report on Tuesday. So I need everything I'm asking by Thursday.
Among the terms of reference of the Joint Committee are to determine the causes of death of the victims and the roles played by Federal Special Anti-Robbery Squad and the Army on the alleged killings. From the National Assembly, Lami Ali, NTA News.
The Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, has charged polytechnics in the country to adhere strictly to the admission policy of 70-30 ratio in favor of science and technology-based program, and also key into the National Qualification Vocational Framework development by MBTE in order to enhance skill development. The minister gave the directive at the 24th combined convocation ceremony of the Federal Polytechnic, Ida, Kogi State. Ajibola Christopher reports.
The 24th combined convocation ceremony had about 5,567 graduating students for 2016, 2017 and 2017-2018 academic section. 414 graduated with distinction, 2,066 with upper class, while 2,055 graduated with pass. In a congratulatory message, Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, says technical and vocational education plays a key role in the economic empowerment of any nation.
The government is committed to strengthening the capacity of Polytechnic to train competent persons in human resource management and technology socio-economical development of this country.
Rector of the school, Dr. David Danjuma Baba, says management has considered research and development as crucial in the promotion of science and technology by putting in place machinery to encourage it.
Today we are celebrating the 24th combined convocation ceremony of the Polytechnic. It may interest you to note graduates of the institution are offered direct admission to read master's degree program after higher national diploma at South Bank University, London, without undergoing postgraduate diploma program.
Federal Polytechnic has trained us to be able to create jobs rather than job seekers.
Highlight of the convocation ceremony was the presentation of the conferment of Honorary Fellowship Award to the Minister of State Labour and Employment, Professor Stephen Ekane-Ocheni, APC Women National Leader Haja Salamatu Bewa and Bishop Matthew Hassan Kuka in recognition of their contributions to socio-economic and political development of the nation, as well as the commissioning of projects of the institution.
I never knew that the little things I was doing will attract a mighty thing.
I'm very, very happy that my modest achievements and contributions are being recognized here and being rewarded.
From Ida, Ajibola Christopher, NTA News.
Fail on education. The federal government says it has put a number of initiatives in place to boost the employability of graduates of tertiary institutions in Nigeria. The Minister of State for Education, Professor Anthony Awuka, said this at the 13th convocation ceremony of the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka. Joy Ilebu reports.
After commissioning over 30 projects in the institution at the 13th convocation ceremony of the Nnamdi Azikiwe University, Awka, President Muhammadu Buhari, who was represented by the Minister of State for Education, Professor Anthony Awuka, said government will remain unwavering in tackling the challenges of youth unemployment in Nigeria through initiatives such as the Empower, Bank of Industry Youth Entrepreneurship Support Programs, and Central Bank of Nigeria and Bank of Agriculture Support Schemes, and urged the graduates to key into these programs.
These initiatives include not limited to enhancing education programs through the rural FCC agency. The intent of which is in the area to provide captive power plants for selective tertiary institutions, thus providing them with more units and directed power supply.
33 projects were commissioned, 20 completed, and there are about 13 ongoing. But I think it would have been impossible without the intervention of the federal government.
Chancellor of the institution, His Majesty the Jacob Gyang Buba, and the Pro-Chancellor Alhaji Aziz Bello both commended the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Joseph Ahaniku, for his efforts to project the institution academically and infrastructural development.
I've also scaled and optimized the academic culture in this university and interest in research.
The convocation for the 2017-2018 academic year witnessed the conferment of PhD degree on 269 graduates, 763 for masters and 182 for postgraduate diploma. 3 prominent Nigerians, the Obi of Onitsha, Obi Alfred Achabe, Sir Emeka Ofo, and Ambassador Babagadan Kingibe were also conferred with honorary doctorate degrees of the institution. In Awka, Joy Iluebu, NTA News.
The African Action Congress has suspended its national chairman, Omoyele Sowore, and 9 others from office for a period of 6 months. The party arrived at the decision at the 3rd National Executive Committee meeting in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf reports.
This gathering of party members and supporters is to announce the resolution of the African Action Congress National Executive Committee's meeting, which held behind closed doors, notable among which is the suspension of Omoyele Sowore. National Executive Committee alleged deliberate inability to convene or hold the constitutionally mandated quarterly meetings of the National Executive Committee, anti-party activities and financial misappropriation. National Executive Committee also accused Sowore of allowing inflow of foreign funds into the party and personally retaining same.
Mr. Sowore Omoyele is hereby suspended as the national chairman of African Action Congress, AAC.
The party's national secretary, Leonard Nzenwa, was consequently sworn in as the acting national chairman ahead of the proposed national convention.
We have accepted this onerous responsibility and made a vow, a big vow, to restore the noble ideals of the party.
The party's deputy national chairman, headquarters, was also suspended by National Executive Committee. The National Executive Committee's decision is said to have been communicated to the Independent National Electoral Commission for further action. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NT News.
The All Progressive Congress cautions party members, supporters and the general public on the fake news being spread in the social media on the upcoming Kogi and Bayelsa state governorship elections. The party, in a statement by the National Publicity Secretary, Larry Issa Onilo, said it had initially ignored the fake statements, but it became necessary to debunk the several fake quotes which are increasingly gaining traction, particularly many of such statements being ascribed to the party and the national chairman, Comrade Adams Oshomole. The statement added that, in line with President Muhammadu Buhari's vision for the country and APC's continued effort towards deepening participatory democracy, the National Working Committee will abide by the rules of every stage of the process of primary elections. Consequently, the party will provide a level playing field for all aspirants. Let's now join Lagos with news reports. Hello, Michael.
Hello, Jumai, and welcome to Lagos. The Federal High Court sitting in Lagos has heard how 1.8 billion naira was spent on supply of branded bundles of wrapper and Ankara to Change for Women initiative by Pigman Oil and Gas Service in the suit seeking final forfeiture of $8.4 million and 7.4 billion naira linked to wife of former President Patience Jonathan. Vera Chimuba has more.
Three defense witnesses were led in evidence by Mr. Mike Uzokome and Abibio. The Southwest Coordinator of Women for Change Initiative, Kate Onechere, told the court that 1.8 billion naira was spent on supply of organizations branded wrapper and Accra. She told the court that Patient Jonathan, the founder of Women for Change Initiative, was made the sole signatory to the account on the resolution of the organization. Contrary to her testimony, one of the trustees of the organization, Yemisi Oluwole, had told the court that there was no such resolution appointing Mrs. Jonathan as the sole signatory to the account. Another defense witness and former head of service in the Ministry of Education, Bayelsa State, Taraja Ogboro, also told the court that Patient Jonathan was not in the payroll of the ministry and did not receive salary while she was on leave of absence. The former special assistant to former President Goodluck Jonathan on domestic affairs, Dudafa, further gave evidence on various sources of funds and gifts received by Patient Jonathan while in office. In Lagos, Viera Chumuba, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army is emphasizing intelligence and tactical use of arms in addressing conflicts. At a seminar on conflict management in Lagos, the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, reaffirmed Nigerian Army places premium on fundamental human rights in discharging its counterinsurgency operations. The report
is imperative to this seminar. The Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Tukur Buratai, represented by the Chief of Army Standards and Evaluation, said improving the skills of personnel and officers involved in tactical field operations will help in fulfilling its mandates of peacekeeping without violating the rights of the vulnerable.
It should therefore cover the whole spectrum of activities from reorientation, stabilization, reorganization, rebuilding and reintegration of the IDPs, among others.
The training in conflict resolution strategy to the military, as it now imbibes civil-military cooperation as part of the military strategic concepts.
Generating positive behavioral change among military personnel and improving civil-military relationships for the protection of women and children were suggested. These required interagency collaboration.
This workshop is designed to provide operatives with soft skills they need in the field, apart from knowing how to use a gun, a weapon.
We are helping them to acquire skills in things like communication, negotiation, mediation, that we believe will further enhance the good work they're doing.
The seminar, which is the 9th edition, is emphasizing tactical use of weapons and arms in conflict areas in the interest of the vulnerable and innocent citizens.
This is NTA Network News. More reports after this commercial break. Please stay tuned.
When we first met, the first question I asked was,
where have you been all my life?
Since then, we have taken every step together. We enjoyed having a pillar of support.
Four, actually. Especially when the kids were schooling abroad. Oh, how we made it through those years.
We've grown together, and we really wouldn't have come this far alone.
The chemistry is amazing. When we share the same passion,
the same drive.
Yes.
And the same vision to succeed.
Everything is so smooth. No drama, no stress, no story.
In fact, we're practically family.
Let's help you achieve your visions and aspirations, milestone by milestone.
FCMB.
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 FCMB, my bank and I.
Can your milk do this?
Love is boiled sweet stuck to your pockets. Love is a kiss.
Can your milk do this?
Can your milk do this? Mine can.
With Hollandia evaporated milk, your cereals, smoothies, and variation of beverages taste pleasantly different. Hollandia evaporated milk. Life.
Ṣẹ́gun fún mi ó ṣe mo dúpẹ́ ọmọ dùn ẹnu ọmọ òní ní kò gbé tí wá kò ń gẹjẹ ó ní kábàámọ̀ àbùkù òní kàn ẹ́ o ayé òní rí ẹ mú o òní dààmú òní ṣìrìn òní rí ó yà wọnú ògo tuntun lọ ẹlẹ́dàá mi ẹ tàmí yín kọ́ ṣé ìwọ ti rókun tó gbẹ rí. kò lè gbẹ bí àwọn ò lè sọ̀rọ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀. ó yá fi sí spíkà.
Get 5 times your recharge value to call all networks without restrictions. Recharge and dial *234# to enjoy this offer. Available to new and existing customers.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
In Nigeria, there is one sound we need to silence. So let's silence toothache before it starts with Oral-B all-round protection. Its advanced technology helps prevent both tooth hopes and gum problems that can lead to tooth loss. It strengthens your teeth, giving them all-round protection. Because the only sound we really want to hear is that of our future. For healthier, stronger teeth in 1 week.
I thought leaving the country was the best decision for me and my future.
I left for a better life.
We were picked up by immigration officials and sent to a detention camp.
I spent 8 months in the detention camp.
There was no food, no water.
I saw people being beaten like animals.
Some women were raped. Some women were sold as slaves.
I thought I would never see my loved ones again.
I have made the biggest mistake of my life.
I have wasted all my savings.
I have to start all over again.
Migration is a human phenomenon which cannot be stopped. But if we choose to migrate, we advocate that it should be done in a safe, orderly, regular, and dignified way, and not in a dangerous and tortuous manner.
This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Refugees, Migrants, and Internally Displaced Persons.
Thanks for staying. Investors lose 140 billion naira to open the week on a negative note. Muplang Dakok is on Business News tonight. Mupla, what exactly is happening to the capital market?
Yeah, many things are affecting the capital market, both domestic and international. For instance, the policy of the Federal Reserve is one, then the U.S.-China trade tensions is another, and a number of other factors.
Should investors be worried?
Not really.
Okay.
They will be solved very soon, I hope.
Okay.
Yes. So the federal government has clarified that the proposed reform in the health sector is not an outright privatization of the health sector, but rather a step to transform and streamline the institutional frameworks in the sector. Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, says with the reforms, Private sector participation and funding of the sector are set to increase with collaboration of all key stakeholders. Director General of the Bureau of Public Enterprises, Alex Oko, on his own part explained that the reform will facilitate availability, accessibility, quality, and affordability of health services, which would increase private sector participation and funding, thereby reducing medical tourism among Nigerians. He said a holistic and comprehensive reform of the sector was required to create the right environment to attract funding. And the equities market closed today on a negative note as the NSE All-Share Index depreciated by 1.26% to close at 28,484.44 basis points. Market capitalization dropped to 10.73 trillion naira as 214.6 million shares exchanged hands by investors valued at 2.7 billion naira in 3,856 deals. Market breadth closed negative as Okomu Oil led 11 gainers as against 30 losers topped by NEM at the end of today's session, an unimproved performance compared with previous outlook. Meanwhile, some macroeconomic indicators and other external factors indicate that the days of the bears on the stock market are fast coming to an end. Professor of Capital Market Uche Uwaleke, who gave the indication, says increase in minimum wage, increase in oil price, and stability in the forex market would impact the market positively at the end of the year.
We don't expect to see any appreciable improvement in stock market performance. That's up to the end of June. But going forward, I want to expect that the market will rebound. That's my prediction. The market is likely to rebound from the third quarter of the year, by which time some of these, if you like, uncertainties that have continued to keep investors on the fence will have melted away. And that's talking about the fact that by the third quarter of this year, I expect the budget to have kicked in.
That's business news. Good evening.
Thank you, Moplan. Thank you so much.
Okay.
With almost 6 decades of relentless service to sustain industrial revolution in Nigeria, the Bank of Industry is still on course in its quest to transform Nigeria's business environment. At its 59th annual general meeting, the bank declared that it overshot its target for the year 2018 and closed at 1.07 trillion naira. Kunle Adeye reports.
With a keen interest in promoting and exposing entrepreneurs to local and international markets, the Bank of Industry has been encouraging Nigerians to take solace in micro, small and medium enterprises and small-medium enterprises. Consequently, it sponsored more than 50 Nigerians to the Intra-African Trade Fair in Cairo, Egypt in 2018. It also announced deepening penetration in key markets, increasing focus on exceptional customer service delivery, and strengthening operation model leveraging on technology as targets for 2019.
For the first time in the history of the bank, we crossed over 1 trillion in our asset base. The group profit was over 36 billion naira. For a bank that is owned basically by government, it's a very good achievement.
With a public-private partnership orientation which aims at becoming self-financing, the bank raised $750 million through a medium-term loan managed by Africa Export-Import Bank Afrexim and through partnership with the federal government to promote social investment programs. The BOI facilitated the disbursement of 29 billion naira to over 1.5 beneficiaries.
Yes, we have done much better than last year in terms of profit because we have done much more in the area of disbursement of loan, especially to micro, small and medium enterprises.
The Bank of Industry also grew its loans disbursement to 259.6 billion naira, representing 130% growth. In Abuja, Kunle Adeye, NTA News.
We now join Mohammed Ibrahim standing by in Maiduguri with more reports. Mohammed.
Thank you, Jumai. Always good to have you join us in Maiduguri. The United Nations Country Task Force on Monitoring and Reporting and Borno State Civilian Joint Task Force have successfully separated about 900 underage persons associated with Boko Haram armed conflict in the second phase of the exercise. The ambassadors of the United States of America, Switzerland, and European Union, in addition to UNICEF officials, monitored the disengagement process which took place in Maiduguri, the Borno State capital. Jesse Tafida reports.
This is the second time the Civilian Joint Task Force is separating underage children associated with its counterinsurgency support to security forces on the Joint Action Plan signed between CJTF and United Nations in Nigeria. A total number of 894 children were separated from the Civilian JTF, having been screened by a working committee inaugurated by the Action Plan. Ambassadors of United States of America, Switzerland, and the European Union all thanked Search for Common Ground for rehabilitating and providing entrepreneurship training for the children.
I would like to very warmly congratulate you on this important achievement. It is a most commendable step, and it is, I think, also a very courageous step, one that reflects strength and character.
UNICEF country representative Muhammad Malik lauded efforts of the CJTF for the positive response to the UN's mission by separating the underage children associated with armed conflict who later developed psychological problems that impact negatively in their lives. The Waziri of Borno, Yerima Mustafa Mukhtar, and other speakers appreciated the effort of the civilian JTF for their selfless service in the maintenance of peace and called on them to abstain from illegal acts. In Maiduguri, Jesse Tafida, NTA News.
And that is all from this end. Network News continues in Abuja.
Thank you, Muhammad. You are watching NTA Network News. The news returns presently. Don't go away.
Operations of local government accounts and matters arising in the new guidelines. That is the focus on NTA Tuesday Live this week. Tuesday Live, every Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. Incisive, informative, and educative. Don't miss it.
They are there at the crack of dawn. They are there busy preparing while we rise for our day. They are there silently, guarding, waiting, listening, and watching. They are there ready in the sky above and the waters below, in the blistering heat of the day, in the dead of night, willing, indefatigable, determined in the defense of the sovereignty of our country. They are our first line of defense and our last. They who have paid the ultimate price in defending us. They are fathers and uncles. They are mothers and sisters and girlfriends and boyfriends. They are brothers and cousins and best friends and neighbors. They are classmates, colleagues, and citizens of this nation. They are our defenders and deserve our respect, our prayers, our thoughts. Nigeria, please support our armed forces.
These days, people get their news and information from more media sources than ever before. So